So, today, we have another dash cam we're going to talk about. It is the 4K A810 from none other than 70mai. Now, it's been more than 2 years since it launched. You can say this model was released in the high-tier segment, at least its camera sensor and performance-wise. We've been running it in our daily driver for quite a while now, and today, we'll show you whether you should buy this dash cam or not. Let's get started. 70mai introduced this A810 model back in 2023, and it gave top-notch hardware and some interesting features that made most people intrigued. Hardwares like Sony STARVIS 2, IMX678 sensor, dual-channel HDR, built-in GPS, and so on. Installing it was just like any other dash cams, so let's just skip that part. But one thing most of you guys may love is this mounting option. It let us easily take out the dash cam when needed. Now, as the front camera features a Sony STARVIS 2, we found it pushing true 4K resolution at 25 frames per second with HDR and a bright glass lens. The camera module here swivels so we can lock the angle after the mount is already on the glass. Out back, we've got a full HD rear cam, and yes, it records both channels at the same time. So, license plates, street signs, and small details can be captured quite nicely. If you're stepping up from a 1080p or even a 2K cam, the jump in detail is obvious the second you pause a frame. Build and usability are straightforward. The micro SD slot sits next to DC in and AV in, power button on the left, 4 tactile keys are right below the display. We expected touch controls here in this price point, but guess we have to work with the buttons with this. The UI here looks simple. Didn't have to fiddle through weird sub-menus. From the device, you can jump between live views, trigger an emergency lock, or play clips from either channel right on the screen. Playback is snappy and actually watchable. You won't hate your life scrubbing for a moment. Settings are where you dial it in. In video, we leave it at 4K all day for max detail. You can tweak clip length, pick high-low compression, flip HDR, change mains frequency, and choose on-screen stamps like speed, lat long, and the 70mai logo. System handles Wi-Fi, screen timeout, card format, and parking guard options with a proper hardwire kit, of course. Smart Travel is where emergency lock sensitivity and ADAS stays. But honestly, we think dashcam ADAS is mostly noise. Lane departure, forward collision, headway beeps. On paper, it sounds helpful. In practice, it throws late or inaccurate calls because a dash cam doesn't sit in the ideal position. Their lenses vary, and it's not tied into steering, radar, or maps. So what happens is they trigger false alarms, constant nagging in traffic, and you end up shutting it off. If your car has built-in ADAS, use that. If it doesn't, a dashcam ADAS won't replace it. We ran it for a while, got annoyed, turned it off, and kept the emergency lock sensitivity dialed in. That's the piece that actually helps in the real world. Now, if we talk about footage quality and real-world experience, the 4K channel kept texture nice and sharp, made lane paint pop without blowing out, and picked up small movement around the car at lights. Wipers didn't freak it out, and reflections off wet roads stayed in check. We'd love a 30 or 60 FPS 4K option here, as we've seen, and used 4K 30 in an entry-level $99 camera. So expecting 60 FPS from this wasn't unrealistic, but the 25 frames still stay stable and readable, which is what matters when you're pausing for plates. 70mai's Night Owl Vision uses 3D noise reduction and wide dynamic range to pull detail out of the dark without turning everything into a smear. Headlights, reflective plates, crosswalk paint seems good enough to use. The rear cam isn't as sharp as the 4K front, obviously, but for a 1080p tail unit, it does the job. We do care most about sensor quality, and this STARVIS seems to be delivering some good results, as you can see on the playback. Sharp, low noise, honest dynamic range. We can see 70mai's My Color Vivid Plus does something within the post-processing, which gives this vibrant color and contrast, sharp license plates, so daytime footage looks natural instead of cartoonish. Built-in GPS tags your video with time, date, speed, and coordinates. Exactly what you want if an insurance adjuster starts asking questions. The 3-inch IPS screen looks bigger because of its square shape, and that extra space matters when you're framing the shot, reviewing clips, or hopping through settings. One tap swaps the front or rear live view, and the rear feed doubles as a simple parking helper when you're backing up. The app is clean. Full screen live view, quick front and rear switching, one-tap photo capture, and you can toggle mic recording from the main screen. Clip browsing by timeline is easy, downloads are quick, and playback is smooth. You can drop info overlays that actually help when you're explaining a situation. All the core settings are mirrored in the app, and it's faster than buttoning through the camera. Bonus, you can control it even when you're not sitting in the driver's seat. Who's this for? If you want a set-and-forget cam with legit front detail, a helpful rear channel, proper GPS stamping, and real night chops, this checks the boxes. It's easy to live with. The menu logic makes sense. Parking mode is solid with the 4G kit, and reliability's been rock steady. If you want one, hit the links in the description for current pricing. Got questions or want us to compare it with your favorite 2-channel cam? Drop a comment. If this helped, tap like, sub for more car tech that actually works, and we'll see you on the next drive.